I am the Namer, guardian of the names of power. Before your world even existed, my people were an ancient race. Now they are gone, and only I remain, keeper of my people's history. Across the endless tracts of space have I traveled, to return to the planet of my birth, Zoidstar. Though my people perished long ago, and their cities were buried by the shifting sands, the machines remain. It is these that have brought me here to perform the last act of the Zoidarian race, the giving of the names of power. When my race was young and had an interest in the affairs of the galaxy, they built the machines, mighty engines of destruction which gave the power of life and death over the other creatures in the galaxy. The Zoidarians turned their gaze outward and laid waste to 1,000 star systems with their machines, their Zoids. But ruling a galaxy was not enough for the Zoidarians. It was not the conquests, but the battles they enjoyed. And though all intelligent life trembled in the shadow of the Zoids, my people battled on, machine against machine, Zoidarian against Zoidarian, in the further pursuit of glory. Zoidarian lives were needlessly sacrificed to the god of battle, and the race dwindled in numbers until the elders outlawed the Zoid duels. But they couldn't outlaw the Zoidarian love of combat. The Zoidarian pilots of the giant war machines were replaced by androids, and thus the heroic combat could continue without threat to Zoidarian life. Too late came the order. Too late to save a once mighty race from extinction, and now only I remain. Only I and the Zoids. And though my people created the Zoids, I have no power to control them. For the war machines have become the living embodiment of the Zoidarian thirst for combat, with lives and wills of their own. They exist only to fight, to ensure that their heroic combat lasts for all eternity. Now I stand on the sand-blasted surface of a world I used to call home, high on a rock, scanning the horizon for some sign of movement, knowing that out there, behind the sand clouds, lurk the deadliest war machines in the universe. It begins!
Sabre-tigers, their mouths stored thousands. Fear the war machines of iron and steel. Helicopter, his target for the kill. The perfect blend of Zoid power and speed. Sabre-tiger seeks Zoids to bleed. Zoid too fast to catch and too strong to fight. Sabre-tiger, he's target for the kill. The perfect blend of Zoid power and speed. Sabre-tiger seeks Zoids to bleed. Zoid too fast to catch and too strong to fight. Sabre-tiger, he is Aneba's might. Sabre-tiger, next at combat Zoid 4. Sabre-tiger brings us Aneba's storm. Sabre-tiger, Smaladon of red steel. Sabre-tiger, Republic Ethereal. But now the Sabre-tiger meets his match. The Helix Shieldtiger of the new batch. Now surpassed, Sabre-tiger must evolve. Arise, great Sabre Shieldtiger dissolve. Sabre-tiger die as Empire crumbles to steel. Smaladon cry. 50 years on the Zaneba Zoid. Sabre-tiger will return, not destroyed. Sabre-tiger, next at combat Zoid 4. Sabre-tiger brings the Zaneba storm. Sabre-tiger, Smaladon of red steel. Sabre-tiger, Republic Ethereal. In this new Zoid age, Sabre-tiger this enigma storm. Sabretiger, smaller dawn of red steel. Sabretiger, Republic fear real. Sabretiger, next step combat Zoid force. Sabretiger, brings this enigma storm. Sabretiger, smaller dawn of red steel. Sabretiger, Republic fear real. But with Nimbus falls, Sabretiger dies. Empire crumbles to steel, Smilodon cries. But 50 years on, there's an Zoid. Sabretiger will return, not destroyed. In this new Zoid age, Sabretiger roars. Revived by Gylos, he'll settle old scores. Helic army again brings shield liker. Gylos' army sends the Sabretiger. Sabretiger, next step combat Zoid force. Sabretiger brings the Enigma storm. Sabretiger, smaller dawn of red steel. Sabretiger, Republic fear real.
But the ways of destiny are strange indeed. Though it seems as though the Zoids must battle among themselves for all eternity, fate provides them with an escape in the shape of their deadliest foes, the Red Zoids. I remember how I, the Namer, last of the Zoidarians, stood witness over the birth of the Red Zoids. I was returning to Zoidstar. The Zoids under my command were in need of repairs and fuel. We never completed our journey. Our ship made a forced landing on Zoidstar's blue moon. I nearly perished in the crash. The blue moon was a world vastly different to Zoidstar. Cold, airless, uninhabited. To survive, the Zoids changed. Where the first Zoids were cold creatures of metal, the Zoids of the blue moon became adapted to their new environment. Their bodies now generated heat. Their blue shells became red, and these Zoids did not battle among themselves, but cast around in search of others to turn into creatures like themselves. Thus they became Red Zoids, terrible metal monsters whose only driving force was the defeat of the blue Zoids and the destruction of all life in the galaxy.
Rising to meet Claude, Prince of Darkness threat. The black steel smaller done, Sabre is set. Blue Zoid, Mountain Lord, and black armor bound. The saber-tooth Zoid treads on silent ground. Mighty Zoidzilla's command he leads. Sabre starts a new red mutant Zoid breeds. Hellish fauna, red scavenger and croc. Black cyber smaller done, Zoid stalks the dark. Zoidzilla's command he leads. Sabre starts a new red mutant Zoid breeds. Hellish spawn of red scavenger and croc. Black cyber smaller down Zoid stalks the dark. Sabre, run and hunt red Zoids at high speed. Sabre, fighting red mutants is his creed. Sabre, crush united Zoid, scourge no rest. Sabre, black steel smaller down past the test. With cannons in tow, the Sabre now hunts. Stalking with steel growls, brass roars and bronze grunts. So search to find Clark Zoids where they may be. Loyal to mighty Zoidzilla's decree. In war fire the lasers and shoot the beams. But Sabre is ambushed as cannon screams. Hellcats they attack, but there's no retreat. Sabre wins the fight, his mission complete. Sabre, run and hunt red Zoids at high speed. Sabre, fighting red mutants is his creed. Sabre, crush united Zoids, search no rest. Sabre, black steel smaller done past the test. With the losses cut, Sabre reports back to mighty Zoidzilla's new retorts. So crush red Zoids being built en masse. His galactic reign must not come to pass. Sabre, run and hunt red Zoids at high speed. Sabre, fighting red mutants is his creed. Sabre, crush united Zoids, search no rest. Sabre, black steel smaller done past the test. in tow, the Sabre now hunts, stalking with steel growls, brush roars and bronze grunts. So search to find crux, Zoids, for they may be loyal to mighty Zoids. Zealous decree in warfire, the lasers and shoot the beams, but Sabre is ambushed as killers new retort. So clocked red Zoids being built and massed, his galactic reign must not come to pass. Sabre running hunts red Zoids at high speed. Sabre fighting red mutants is his creed. Sabre crush united Zoids, scourge no rest. Sabre black steel Smarmadon past the test. With the losses cut, Sabre reports back to mighty Zoids. Zealous new retort. So clocked red Zoids being built and massed, his galactic reign must not come to pass. Let the galactic reign must not come to pass.
has been waged for centuries. It rages still, with no end in sight.
I, the Namer, last of the Zoidarians, guardian of the names of power, keeper of the legend of heroic combat, have spoken.